a very high pass guard. He's just started drilling at our place. I love it. You tend to get in this position loads and you think, oh god, I feel uncomfortable, but you'll see in a minute. Then we're going to do some lockdown work, whip back, not whip up. We're going to do electric chair style submission, a sweep from there, I think on Iron Palm Marcelo. Then we're going to do a bit of flying kung fu move, 21, depending on you know, rubber guard. You go, wow, why don't I do this all the time? Everything in the 10 planet system is so obvious, and you just think, why have I never seen this before? That's the beautiful thing about the 10 planet system. And it's all got names, it's all got like phrases. Instead of me saying, put your right hand there, then your left foot there, put his head down, I'm just going to go crack head control. That's it. And you know immediately what I mean. It's a beautiful thing about it. It idiot-proofs the system, essentially. Instead of me talking to you like a Brazilian, saying, you need to grab his lapel and then like this, yes. Idiot-proof it. Idiot-proof it. Up, down, whip up, electric chair, done. It's a beautiful system. It's if you ever look online, go on YouTube, loads of Eddie Bravo stuff, loads of all of his guys. Just check it out, Sean Bollinger, his stuff. He's the most flexible man alive. He's like the rubber guard king. Rubber guard will come, by the way. If you're not flexible, it will work. It will come in time. I'm going to show you a few stretches at the end to help you with your rubber guard. Being flexible doesn't always help just for your guard. It helps with your recovery, your escapes, them attacking you, what you can do with your legs. Don't all think you need to be able to split it like that or split it like that. The most important flexibility is the yoga flexibility. Getting them feet close to your crotch, knees close to the floor. That's the most important flexibility you need. Now, if you're here, time will take, and you just get closer and closer, and your knees touch the floor. That comes with time. But unfortunately, you've got to have someone standing on your legs behind your back. It'll come. So we're just going to start off with a very ugly guard pass. Right? To me, it looks messy. But if I talk it down and think, right, this is why I do this is why I've done this, you will see how controlled it can actually be, and how often you think, oh, I'm landing it all the time, but I just get swept because you don't recognise it as a pass. So let's come around this way. It's important that you get the key parts right, otherwise it will become messy. Now this is something that Jeff Glover does all the time. It's one of his favourite passes. It's an amazing pass with this. Hit rate is high. Whereas you've got your basic passes from this position where, say you're doing a knee slice, you're slicing this way, you're going under, you're stepping back. Loads of these sexy little ones like this, but this one is quite brutal and it's straight to the point. And you think, oh god, why not everything like in the past? This position here is a good position to be in. We never want to grab the ankles, because if you grab the ankles I can just swing the legs out or just kick straight forward. But this alone, it stops him sitting back. Now my game is that if I'm ever in a position where I'm here and I feel like he's got control of me, I'll bail out, I'll just sit back. That's my game. I'll disappear, start 50-50 again. But when you've got somebody's knees pressed here, it's hard to sit back. So just that simple thing there stops me sitting back. I'm not going to be over their hips, because if I'm over their hips I can start spiralling and start attacking my legs, trying to kick through, this type of scenario. So if I'm over here, I want to make sure my legs are a good distance away and I'm on the balls of my feet, not my heels. I never want to be flat. I'm on the balls of my feet. Now, I dive in, I literally jump on him, I make him breathe out, I put all my weight on his chest and I pinch it all together. Now from here, when I'm pinching there, I'm essentially looking for this. It looks messy and it looks uncontrolled, but what I'm looking for is for all my weight to be on his belly, a good base here to pinch my knees. My feet are off the floor, all my weight's now on his chest, on his he's breathing, right? You're tensing, aren't you? Yeah. So I'm making him think of that. That's all he's thinking about. How can I get him off my belly? That's all he's thinking about. I'll make sure my hands are not here. The past his head. Don't be level with his head, be past his head. If I'm here, you can swing around and get some sort of arm control. So I'll make it more difficult for him so he has to reach. If my foot's on the floor, if he's got a good deep half, he can hook, and now I'm in trouble. So I have to make sure my foot's off the floor and pinch behind his bum. If anything, my feet are touching as much as possible, and I'm pinching. All the time, he's like this. Now, there's so many times when you're in a guard pass situation where it's a scramble, or you've gone for a punch and you fell like this. You see it all the time, but they stay like this and they'll try and maybe think, oh, how can I pass? And they'll maybe do this. But he's got this butterfly, remember? This butterfly here is stopping you doing anything, because all he has to do is extend his leg, or catch you in half guard. So you have to think, how can I stop him doing that? How can I take that butterfly away? So I jump all my weight onto his stomach, make him think about this, and I take that leg out the game. Now, after that, once I'm here, it looks weird. You think, oh, I've never done that before. Trust me, you've been here. You've been here. I know you have. You've been in this position before. Feet have to be off the floor. Once I'm here, if I'm going to pass to my left, it's his right leg that I want, like this. Now, I'm not just going to pass. I have to make sure I make him face that way. Now, to make him face that way, I pivot my hip. Just by doing that, it makes his hip turn away from the side I'm going to actually pass. I do not fall. I pivot, I pivot my hip. Now, once I pivot my hip, you can see that because I've pivoted my hip, it's made this area a little bit flatter. So now my weight all goes on his hip on this left knee. That's where I base off. I base off now off his knee, and I kick my right leg back. So that's dove in here, pinch together, pivot my hip, kick back. It's the most simplest, crudest guard pass you'll ever see. However, it has a very high hit rate because it's something quite unorthodox. So when somebody's flattened down, they're here, their immediate thought is, well, I'm just going to try and push down for half guard. But because I've got all my weight on his chest and I'm balancing above him, it's quite hard to push down, and I've isolated this leg. This is the leg he wants to play with. He wants to butterfly sweep here. But I'm sat on it and I'm pinching it together. As soon as I pivot, I've taken everything away from him. He's got nothing now, and I just kick back dead quick. So, as a drill, you're just going to start here. Remember, you're not over his hips, you're never over someone's hips when on the back, you're beyond their hips. Dive in, pinch. I pinch his knee as much as I can. My feet have to be off the floor, all my weight is on his stomach. Base above his head, not next to his head, and I pivot my hip. Have you seen that? What I'm on about? My base, I'm posting all my weight on his hip. It stops him turning back into me. And I slide down into side control. And if you notice, for a point of a second, he's facing away from him. Even better, right? There's no way you're going to recover guard. What we've been drilling on lately is whenever you're in this position, we've been recovering guard like this. That's the next way. That's looking at jiu-jitsu 4-dimensional. Instead of me trying to think, oh God, I've got to turn into him, you're never going to recover guard. Never going to happen. Me doing this, you're going to get mounted 1,000 times. So this is the next way. I don't know if you guys are up to there yet, but I could cover that later. So you're going to start here. If you want to start with him sat up, on his ass, then dive in here. Remember, not his ankles, it's his knees. Your knee slides through the middle, like this. For a second, he's thinking, oh shit, what's going on here? Here, feet off the floor, pinch your feet together, hip twist. Can you see as it turns him away? Side control. It's a very easy guard pass at a high rate. We'll try that, guys. Any questions? I'll come around and answer them. If you haven't got to go in my dog.